What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we got a cool one for you. All the way from 2001, we bring you the G.I. Joe Pointe du Hoc Army Ranger. Let's bring this guy in. Super cool. Super cool figure, guys. Another one of my favorites. I picked this beautiful G.I. Joe up all the way back in 2001 from a Target. And I have been tracking this figure through my G.I. Joe Collectors Club and immediately fell in love with this figure. Everything about this figure is was just beautifully done. The accessories, everything. And once again, this is right at the start of Hasbro's renaissance, I should say, with G.I. Joe, making G.I. Joe more realistic with his weaponry, his uniforms. Everything was made to scale. Because once again, Hasbro was in direct competition with so many other 12-inch action figure line toy companies out at the time. And these other toy companies were really putting out good product. And Hasbro just couldn't keep making almost cartoonish action figures, especially where G.I. Joe was concerned. We wanted our G.I. Joe to be as realistic as possible. And that's what they started right around the year 2001, maybe even earlier at the end of 2000. I started to see the figures really take on more of a realistic form as far as their outfits. I started to notice, equipment was kind of made to scale. It wasn't out of scale. It wasn't too big. It wasn't too small. It was perfect, right in line for a 12-inch action figure. And this G.I. Joe Pointe du Hoc Army Ranger was absolutely gorgeous. And it exemplified that renaissance that Hasbro was going through with G.I. Joe. As you can see, he comes loaded, absolutely loaded. This figure is on a deluxe scale. I paid, I want to say, oh man, after tax, probably $30-something for this figure. He was definitely on the deluxe scale. He wasn't cheap. And even now, you're going to pay a pretty decent price for this guy. I've seen COLLECTIBLE Collectibles carry this figure somewhere around $50 or $60, somewhere around there. That's a good price. That's a good, fair price for this figure, especially if you want him mint in box. We have a C10 museum example here in our museum. If you're going to take this guy out of his box, you don't really want the box. I would never tell you to buy this guy loose, though, because chances are a lot of these beautiful accessories and weapons and things of that nature, this is dog tags back there, are probably going to be missing. I would say find a box that's not in good shape. The price is low, especially if you just want to take him out and you want to just put the figure on display with all of his gear and equipment. Then I'd say don't worry about the box. Especially if you're out of a box collector, you're not an M.I.B. collector, then you're cool. Don't even worry about the box. Get the box beat up and crushed. You get a better price on it. You just want the figure. So, but at any rate, this figure is worth having, definitely worth having in your collection. I was blown away by the layers and layers of clothing this G.I. Joe had. And it was so realistic. He's got his pouches, everything. Some of this is molded plastic, but that's fine. That was okay. That was fine, especially for all of the other accessories that were made out of cloth, like his backpack here, sack, I should say. His entrenching tools got the cover, the cloth cover on it. So just beautifully made. And you see ours is factory sealed. He's still sealed in there. Head sculpt was really one of those newer, cooler head sculpts from back then and at that time period. Really cool. I love that head sculpt. The netting on the helmet, the goggles. There's his canteen. And along the side of the box, they gave you, and give you a blown out shot here. They gave you his equipment list. Look at the size of the equipment list. Look at what you got for $30 back in 2001. And this is from the D-Day collection. We have all the D-Day collection figures. But look what you got. And there's a great poster. I would have loved for them to make a poster of this, a life-size poster. Here's the setup of the launcher here with the grappling hook. Let's turn this box around. Here's the side, the other side. Get you a blown out look of that. There's our Omaha Beach Army Infantry we have, and we haven't done a review on him. We'll get a video out on him sometime in the near future. If you want to see that guy quicker, let us know, and we'll get the video out much sooner. We work for you guys, and this is why we do this, for your viewing pleasure. So let us know if you want to see that faster. Here's our Royal Marine Commando. We did a beautiful review and video on him. You can check him out. Ernie Powell. We haven't done a video and review on this guy yet, neither. We will, though. If you want to see some of these guys, and we're not moving fast enough for you, by all means, let us know. Excuse me. Here we go. This is why I can't take my figures out of the box. Look at the back of this box. It's absolutely gorgeous. The artwork on this box, just beautifully done. I would love to know the name of the artist. We'll get the name of the artist, do more research for you guys. I am a curator, guys, so I'm supposed to know these things. I get caught up just like you guys with the collecting aspect and just the beauty of the figures, and sometimes I overlook some of the smaller details. Let's get you a year. 2001. Just a beautiful, beautiful box. You can still see the shine on it. The sheen, I should say. This figure stays in our main collection room. It's never been to the archives. It will never go to the archives. Here's the backstory on the Pointe Army Ranger. As you can see, it's still sealed. You can pause your video if you want to read some of this backstory. All this beautiful information on the Pointe Army Ranger. Guys, what do you think of our Pointe Army Ranger? Do you have this guy? Are you looking for this guy? Once again, here's another figure. Anything is doable. You can find anything on the internet. Believe that, guys. You can find anything. The problem is pricing. Like I said earlier, $60. $60 is fair for this action figure. If you can find this guy for cheaper, God bless you. That's fine. That is fantastic. But I'm just saying, if I had to put a price on him to purchase this guy, to add him to, to my collection, if I were another collector looking for this guy, I wouldn't go beyond $60. Especially now in a day and age where you got to do a lot of shipping and handling and stuff. So it gets expensive. It can really get expensive. But if you absolutely have to have this guy, and this is the last figure that you need to complete your collection with, then by all means, there's no such thing as price. Just a beautiful figure. He's got the gung-ho grip hands. Beautiful rifle. There's a spare clip. There's those blasted rubber bands. But it's been on ever since 2001. This figure has been in our museum collection. Everything else is held. Plastic fasteners there. Just absolutely beautiful. Just a beautiful, beautiful figure. He has tons of pockets. Super cool figure, and this is what makes it so fun being a G.I. Joe collector. Having my own museum, actually. It's so cool. Sometimes I just have to stop and smell the coffee and just pinch myself. When I walk into my museum, it's like, man, I'm a kid all over again. So it's so cool, and all of the collectors out there know precisely what I'm talking about. I mean, you wake up in the morning and you go down to your collection rooms or wherever you keep your collections at, and it just hits you. It's like Christmas every day. And that's how I feel. Every day it's Christmas. Every day it's a birthday. And right there you can see his knife and the knife sheath. Right there. Everything has been beautifully displayed. This is another cool reason I love these boxes the way they are. Everything's displayed so beautifully. And I had an excellent point. Lady Pop Hunter made a beautiful point. She's a subscriber and she has an awesome channel as well. Check her channel out. Lady Pop Hunter. She made a good point about, because she's an M.I.B collector as well, and her point was basically these boxes are so beautiful the way they keep everything displayed. Taking all of this stuff out, you lose it. It doesn't display well because you're going to put it with 1,000 other action figures. And I thought that was a really cool point that I never really looked at before. See, there's so many angles you can look at it for. If you're M.I.B, you don't, you keep stuff out of the box. All of that's fantastic. But this is that was a good point. I didn't think about it like that. Everything is in place perfectly. Lady Pop Hunter, thank you. And her husband, who's also an awesome collector. Check his channel out. Open by Chance. Those two guys are just amazing collectors. I am huge fans of their channels. So check their channels out. Open by Chance and Lady Pop Hunter. Those guys, they keep it 100% real, guys. Guys, we'd like to thank you for hanging out with us today, visiting our channel and spending some time here in our museum, talking about our G.I. Joe Pointe du Hoc Army Ranger. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.